Hi actors, this is Nogen Beck, LA headshot photographer. This is the second chapter of my actor marketing blog that aims to arm actors with knowledge of the science of headshots, as well as new age tips and tricks to help them market themselves competitively. Today's topic is the 4 goals of headshot photography, as well as the 5 pillars of headshot photography. Now, as you know from previous episodes, what this blog posits is that there is very little difference between big business marketing like Apple and Nike and actor marketing. And I believe actors deserve the same amount of attention and sophistication in their marketing as the big businesses believe in and relish. And so that's the angle I'm coming from, and therefore it's no surprise that the first thing I'm going to say is that the thought process behind the goals of all great headshots is exactly the same as the goals of all great ads. And those goals are, number 1, getting noticed. Your headshot has to be engineered to get noticed and rise above the noise, or it risks getting regulated into the wrong pile at an agent's office or a manager's office, or even worse, the casting director's presence. Number 2 is communicating. Your headshot has to communicate one cohesive message between your expression and your settings and your lighting and your wardrobe, and that message has to be loud and clear. It has to jump off the page. Number 3 is targeting. You want to target an audience. This is the point of doing many look. You want your headshot to be as specific as possible about which roles it aims to capture, which casting director's attention it aims to capture. And finally, enhancing the perception of the product, or in this case, the actor. And by this, I just mean that everything on and around you in your headshot can aim at improving the way you are perceived, so that you seem like more of an attractive option than your competition, for example. And if you notice, the same is true from ads by big businesses. They need to get noticed, they need to get your attention, they have to communicate one thing, because if they start sending you disjointed messages, the next guy is going to win your attention. And these messages are targeted to a specific audience. Certain ads target women, certain ads target different ethnic groups, and then finally, enhancing. They don't just put a shoe just anywhere, they make it a very specific tone and mood, something that'll capture your attention. And that's very intentional, and those same decisions should be intentional on your headshot. So in future episodes, anytime I suggest a tip or a course of action, I will be very clear on how it relates to one of these 4 goals. So I'm not just giving you fluff, you know that this stuff is verifiably true. More importantly, the 5 pillars that we're going to be discussing, that some of the conversation's going to revolve around, that we're seeing right here on the screen right now, all revolve around those 4 goals. Now, those 5 pillars are contrast, brightness, sharpness, expression and posture, and finally composition. Now, obviously there's 5 of these, so let's just say that each one counts for about 20% on your headshot. And so therefore it can be deduced that if one of these elements is not clearly present in your headshot, or if it's just floating around instead of actually serving one of the aforementioned goals, then your headshot may be at only 80%. If you're missing 2 of them, technically your headshot gets a D. Now, I'm not saying any of this to necessarily scare you, but I don't think it serves anyone to ignore the fact that if you're cutting corners, you might be missing big opportunities, career-defining opportunities to shine and kickstart your career. More importantly, if actors are aware of these things, they can demand it for themselves. If enough of them demand it, you're changing an entire industry, and suddenly the entire headshot industry is serving actors better as a whole, which is my goal. The question now is, how can you, as actors, ensure that each of these pillars is leveraged to achieve your goals, and what else can be done in order to ensure that you end up with headshots that open doors to exclusive casting offices? That's precisely what we start covering next week, beginning with the benefits of tonal contrast. I hope you tune in, and I look forward to continuing to illuminate the tactics that will propel you towards your goals as actors. Cheers!